Yesterday we have seen the very basics of R and R programming. I tried to explain you what is R, what is the features or characteristics of R, and then we have seen that how we can use the two interfaces, that is R console and the R studio. Right there we have seen how to define variable, what are the various types of or what are the various data types when we talk about in the variable or object. This is what we have seen yesterday, right? Today is the day where I talk about the data structures, right? So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen first, and then we'll see how we can work with the data structures. Okay, I think I shared my screen. I hope it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So I think this is what we performed yesterday, right? I'm cleaning the environment. So you can see there is a brush available in the environment. I hope it is visible to everyone. Once you click on this way all what I created in the R environment is deleted permanently, right? Similarly, to clear my console, I can click on this brush. Then cleaning is done, I think. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm writing here. Firstly, I think I need to tell you what is the importance of data structures, and then we'll see its meaning, right? Say, for example, I created here one object named as X. Yesterday, we stored a single value in any object. We'll try to store more than one values in the object. So what I'm doing, I have written 2, 3, 5. Then I am pressing Control Enter. You can see it is showing me unexpected comma. This is an error in X when I assign 2, 3, 5 to the X. That means it can only read till this. And after that, these are the means from here, these are the errors for R, right? So the meaning is that when we want to store more than one data points or the values in any object, in that case, we cannot go by creating only a single object like this. We need to take the help of data structures, right? So from here, we will write what data structures are in. So I'm writing data structures are the facility available in R to store multiple values or data points in any object. I hope visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So now, what are the various kind of data structures available in the R? We'll see. There are various structures like vector, list, vector, array, matrix, data frames. So these are the 6 data structures available in R. Using that means all these are having the different characteristics. So we will see what the characteristics each and every data structure is having, and according to our need, we can use these multiple data structures in R, right, to store more than one values at a time, right? This is the utility or use of these different data structures. Today I'll discuss the first three, that is vector, list, and factor. And tomorrow I'll discuss the next three, right? So this way we will complete all the 6 data structures in 2 days. Now I'll talk about the very first data structure named as vector. So vector is a data structure which stores multiple values of same type. These or vectors are homogeneous in nature and these are one-dimensional. Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed? Understood everyone what is the meaning of vectors? Vectors are nothing but these are the what I can say container kind of thing. So but this container is what is the meaning of this container? It can store only the same type of objects or same type of values inside it, right? Say for example, if I'm having the numerical values, so I can create a vector. So all the numeric values I can store in any particular vector. So that way it is storing the same type of data, right? So that is why we can call vectors are generally homogeneous in nature. And also these are one dimensional. One dimensional means either this will be stored in a row form or in a column form in the memory of R. Right? Clear? Shall I proceed, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we'll see what are the various methods using that we can create vectors in R. So there is the colon or operator method. Then there is C function method. There is sequence SEQ function method, and there is RAP function method. So these are the some of the methods. Using these methods, we can create vectors. I hope you people are performing along with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So we'll see all these one by one. Firstly, I'll talk about the colon method. So suppose I created a vector named as V and I have written 2:18. I'm executing this by pressing Control Enter. Now I'll call my V or I'll print the vector V. So you can see it is returning you the range of data points starting from 2 ending at 18. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can check its class. It is integer, means this is an integer kind of vector. Fine. Done.
Done.
Fine. Moving ahead. Firstly, I think this is this way. I think I'm telling you all the methods first, and then we will talk about the various other kind of vectors, right? So this is the C. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm just confused between class and type. Can you tell me what are the various types that are possible? Because classes are clear, numeric and then integer.
Same are the types also, but in case of numeric value we have seen yesterday, it is showing double. Double means float.
Okay.
Means
So
decimal
decimal,
points can also be
yeah.
stored.
Whenever there is a decimal point, it is showing as double.
Whenever it is numeric, it shows double.
Okay. Whether it is decimal or a normal number, it shows double.
Double.
For integer, ma'am?
For integer, it will come integer only.
Okay. Fine. So they both are almost the same.
Yeah. Only the meaning is type of is indicating which type of object it is. Class is indicating in which way or in which type this data will be stored in the R memory.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. We'll see the next method, which is the C. C meaning is concatenate, right? So for example, I'm creating another vector v1 using the C function. So here inside the C will be in a small cap, right? Here I'm writing certain values like so it is returning me. Clear? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving ahead. Talking about the next, which is sequence. SEQ. Series, right? Sequence means series. So suppose I'm creating another vector named as V2 using SUQ function. This is a function. Inside this, you need to give the initial from which particular number you want to start your series. Suppose it is 1 and then I return 10. So this, if I'll write, you can see it has executed when I'm calling this. It is giving me 1 to 10. Other way, if I have passed here, suppose 0.5, that means I'm giving instruction I want to generate a series starting from 1 ending at 10. There will be increment by 0.5, right? That means 1 1.5, 2 2.5, likewise this will go. Is it clear? Clear, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Is it fine? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, next.
Ma'am, can we just take 1 minute to note it down? Because later we were not
That
in a
is
position to
why
recollect.
that is
Yeah.
why I'm asking, ma'am. That is why I'm asking. Are
Okay, okay.
you able to perform or not? Because I think I am performing. First thing it is coming in my mind, so it is easier for me to do. That is why I'm asking you people.
Yeah. We are able to perform, ma'am. I just wanted to make a note so that next time
No,
when we try.
no issues, no issues. You can take your time. You just tell me proceed, so accordingly I'll move.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Shall I proceed?
Just a second, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is the use of this C, ma'am? Concatenate.
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 You
I didn't
send
get the use of it. I have
con-
understood how it is giving the result, but what is the purpose of it? We are entering all the numbers, ma'am.
yeah. Means it is concatenating them.
They are neither put in the order also. It is just like as it is we entered, it is giving the
It is
same.
coming in the same manner.
Okay, okay. We can proceed, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Moving ahead, talking about the next function named as REP, repeat kind of function, right? I'll create the next vector. Suppose I have written 2 is to 4, comma, I have given 2. When I call my vector, you can see it is repeating 2, 3, 4 twice, 2 times, right? So it is this function. This way you can go for the repetition of the same data points. Is it okay? V4. Next use of this. I'll take only the small value. So this is one more parameter which we can pass inside the REP function, which is each. So now when you will call your V4, you can see each of the data points is repeated twice. You will change the number 3, it will come 3. So 2 will come 3 times, 3 will come 3 times, 4 will come 3 times, right? Then REP 2 is to 4. Next is the times is equal. Suppose to when I call V5, it is coming 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Means times is very similar. Without this, this is and time is similar. Then there is one more parameter which you can give, named as V6. 2 is to, suppose I have written 4 and there is a name of the parameter as length. Length dot out is equals, suppose 10. Then you're calling V6, you can see. So it will create a vector of 10 data points. So these numbers will be repeated 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 to meet the length. So that way you can find 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 coming 3 times. And then to meet this requirement, only 2 will be repeated. So this way we can use these functions also to create vectors in R. Simple. Performed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. We'll move ahead. We'll talk about the next now. Now we will talk about the positioning or indexing. Meaning is that I think those who are working in the programming languages or working with programming languages, they are knowing the meaning of this. Indexing meaning is the position of any data point, right? So say, for example, if I talk about this V6, in this V6, if I talk about what is the position of this 4, so it is, anyone? Position is?
2, ma'am.
It's 3.
3.
1, 2, 3. I think you can see what I have selected here at the console. 4 I have shown you. I'm asking the position of this 4.
Oh.
Right? So indexing is the position of any value or data point in any object. In R, index starts from 1. Python and R, these two languages, maybe everyone has heard, right? So there are these two languages and these two are differing. The main difference is on the basis of index. In Python, index starts from 0, means for 2, index will be 0. This position is known as 0. For 3, 1. For 4, it is 2. But in R, index starts or position number starts from 1. So this is 2 is 1, 3 is 2, position 2, and fourth position is, means another position for the 4 is 3. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now suppose I created I think I can hear some noises. If you are at somewhere outside, I request everyone please mute yourself. I don't know who he or she is. Can anyone tell me the name of the person?
Dr. Kavita.
Kavita ma'am. Kavita ma'am, can you please mute yourself? Kavita ma'am. Thank you. Fine. Now we'll see the working of this. Now you can see if I talk about the positioning, right? I want to access the position, right? What I need to do. I have written here. Okay, one more thing I need to write here. I think brackets everyone know, right? When I talk about this bracket, this generally we are using for functions, right? Then this bracket we are using for loop, right? Then this bracket we are using for position or index. This is the important thing to note down. You please note down everyone. Then
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
now suppose there is a vector I will call v1 again. You can see in the console. These are the values I stored here, right? Suppose I want to replace any of the values here. Suppose I want to replace this 9, right? So as firstly I know the position, so I will come here and I will write 3, right? And then using this symbol, when I write, suppose I am storing here 13. I did. Now I want to see whether it has replaced. You can find it has replaced. Visible? How to replace? You need to firstly access the position, and then whatever you want to store, that you can do. Right?
Right, ma'am.
Done? Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, moving ahead. More use I will tell you later on. I need to tell you first one more thing here. Now, if I want to create integer vector, can anyone tell me how we can create the integer vector in R? Anyone? Anyone?
Ma'am, should we use L somewhere?
Yes, very good. We will use L. Very correct, ma'am. I think Sairaj, sir, I think said also the L. Very good. Fine. So we will write, I have written, suppose the name is Y. I'll use the function C. I have written 1L, 4L, 15L, all caps, right? Then suppose done. Simple. Oh, sorry, I have written in a small cap and I am calling a y, little y, right? Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, character vector. So using the C function, we can write the characters. Suppose done. If you want to create a vector of name or name vector, that also you can do, right? Shall I proceed?
Ma'am.
Yes, Kritika.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. We'll go for the logical vector now. Done. Simple, I think, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now complex number vector. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So I think we created almost all types of vectors. You have seen how to create numeric, integer, character, logical, complex. Right? All 5 we created. Till here, everything is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed? Now we'll talk about the next thing. That is the operations, or the, what I can say, the arithmetic operations on vector. Right? So we will do the arithmetic operations on vector. So I'll write here arithmetic operations on vectors. So firstly, I'll see for the addition. So firstly, I'm creating 2 vectors, which is of,
Ma'am, screen is not visible.
okay, sorry. Okay, stop share. Just a minute, I'll share again. Now visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. So I have written arithmetic operations on vectors. So I'm creating 2 vectors firstly, and I'm creating both the vectors numeric or the integer type, so that we can perform the operations on them, right? Then okay, I will do one more thing here. I'll check how many values or data points I've entered into the vectors. So I will use the function length to check the length of my vector v1 and v2. In both the cases, I entered 6 figures, right? 6 values. Fine. Now we will perform addition. So I can write v1 plus v2. You can see, so the respective values will be added. 12.4 plus in brackets minus 10, so it is coming 2.4. Then 14 plus 13.2. So that way respective values will be added to give you the answer. Is it fine? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Then,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, then v1 minus v2. I think all these are now very simpler for you people, because we already know what are the mathematical operators that you can do then, right? Moving right now for the multiplication. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Then last one is division. So the respective position values will be divided here. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's simple, right? Vectors are very simple. Now, I think indexing and everything I told you. If time permits, we'll do some more things. I'll keep vector till here only. We will see remaining 2 more things, and then we will go for some more things on these 3 data structures, right? So I'm keeping vectors till this point only, and then I'll move to the next operator named as list. This is a data structure which stores multiple values of different types, right? List is also one-dimensional and it is heterogeneous. To create list, we are using the function called list. In list, we can store data points, even vectors, even list. Inside the list you can store, then matrix also you can store, data frames also you can store. So there are multiple things which you can store inside the list. Sorry, I think I should enter. Yeah. Done? Noted down. I'm waiting. You note down.
Noted, ma'am.
Yeah. So we'll see now how to create the list. I'll create the first list in R named as list 1. So I have given, name is L1. So I have given the name to my list as L1. In L1, I am storing certain things. So I am writing here. Suppose I stored numeric value, integer value, a logical value, then again an integer, and then suppose stored a color or the character I stored. I think this is what I'll keep till this. And suppose complex number also. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Created by everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now I'll create the second list. Using the list function. Suppose this time I am keeping a vector inside this. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What about remaining people? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So we created two lists. This was our first list. And this was the second list. Right. Now, here we'll see the role of indexing. Indexing is again the position, right? Suppose I am writing L1 and I have written here 3. Now you can see it is returning me true. Means at the third position I am having the true. That is a logical value. Right? So this way I can access my element. I want to see in L1. So you need to see the brackets I'm using. This is the square brackets I'm using here, right? Suppose I have written here 5. It is returning me the pink. At the 5th position, there is a character value or character data point is stored named as pink. Then, if I want to replace the first element of my list with any character, suppose. I did. When I will call my list, you can see at the first position, we are having the light, right? Then
Yes, ma'am.
then as you have seen in the list 2, we have stored a vector also, right? So suppose I want to you can see how I can access the anything which is there stored in the vector inside the list. So which is coming as 3, third element, and from third element I want to pick the first. So the initial element I have kept in the 2 square brackets, and then from that whatever you want to pick, you can keep that in a single bracket, right? And if suppose I want to replace this, by suppose D, and when I'll call L2, you can see it's instead of ABC, it is DBC. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. We'll see now we can keep list also inside the list, right? So as you have seen, I have created 2 lists, list 1 and list 2. Suppose I want to keep list 2 inside list 1. So I'll come here. Or maybe suppose I am doing this. Just a minute. I have written L1, 7. Then I stored L2. Just a minute. Okay. So fine. So this way we cannot do. We will do it in other way. I'll create a next list, list 3. That is list function I'm using, and then I'm storing few values here. Visible? Done. Have you seen what I did here? Done.
Did
Yes,
not
ma'am.
understand, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I kept here a numeric value, integer, the character, the vector, and the list. And then I have printed this, or I have called my list L3. Then what I did, I created a next list, and I have given one value, and that I am storing a list which I already created, which is L3. So you can see, once I'm calling the new list L4, you can see this is indicating all the elements. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. Next, we will see naming the elements of list. Name is working like this, I think. Give me a second, I'll search this. What is the problem? Meanwhile, you can see merging of list. So I create L5, a new list. To merge the two lists, you need to use the function C. Done. Merging is very easy using the C function. You can merge two lists. So I have merged L3 and L4. So you can find in L3 how many elements were there? There were total 6 elements, I guess. No, 5 elements and 2 here. So total 7 elements. So you can find in the new list we are having 7 elements. Done. Merging is easy. Right? Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think names is a function. I think I have written name only. I'll need to check. It is working. So once I'll call L4, instead of that one and all, you can find it is coming with the name. I have given the first element named as numeric. So in the L4, you can find we are having the element number 11 and we are having a list. So you can find second element is list, and in list all the elements are coming like this. List element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. Clear? So naming also is possible using the names function. So the syntax is names in the bracket the name of the list, and using the C function, according to the number of elements you can name them. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
simple. Everyone, it is fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do I need to proceed or need to wait?
We can proceed, ma'am. But it's confusing. However, we are doing it for the first time. Multiple things on a go.
So you can ask me, ma'am. If you say I'll wait, you ask me, I'm waiting. You
I
see,
know, ma'am. We are doing it, but I'm not sure how far we can recollect these.
okay.
As you're doing, we are copying in a way.
No issues. I'll give you 5-10 minutes at the end to perform few tasks that you need to do. Don't worry.
Okay, ma'am.
That way you can check whatever you have learned, whether you are able to keep in your memory or not. So that way you can check, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So shall I proceed with the next? There are
Yes,
multiple things, but I'm not investing much time in these because we need to mainly do the work with the data frames and the vectors only. Remaining things I'm just telling you from the point of view of the data structures. You need to know what are the data structures. And one more thing, one important data structure which I'm going to discuss now is the factor. So I'll discuss the factor and then I'll give you the exercises to perform, right? So I'll write now. Yeah, I'll write now factor. Factor is again a data structure which stores the homogeneous elements in R one dimension, right? Question comes when I talk about research, because now onwards or from after tomorrow, we are going to discuss the things from the research point of view, because we will see the use of this R to perform the stats or statistical tests also, right? So you need to know this thing that there are various variables available in statistics. One of them is the categorical variable. I think you people have heard and you know it, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So to create categorical variable or to create the labels or to create the categories of your categorical variable, we are using the factors or factor data structure. So this is the important use of the factor to create the labels or groups or categories of categorical variable. We use the factors, right? For creating this factor kind of thing, we need to use the function named as factor. This function we are using to create factor. So as I have written categorical variable means which is the character vector, right? So suppose I am creating a character vector named as gender. I have given a name to my variable or to my object as gender. Using the C function, I am storing certain values here. So certain MF I have written right here. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Then I'll enter this. It is executed, right? But you can find at the environment. It is indicating this is the character. This is a character vector and not a factor, right? Other way to check this, you can use is dot factor Inside this, you can give the name of your. You want to check means in the R is a very what I can say very understanding kind of language. Means once you are writing a function name, it is also very clear to you. It this way you can read it. Is gender a factor? Means so whatever the object you have passed inside this is dot factor function. You want to check whether this is a factor or not, right? So it is quite obvious. The output of this particular function will be in the form of true or false, right? So this is a kind of logical function you are using. So it is coming false, means your gender is not a factor, which is coming, because if it will come true means it is yes. Is it clear? So that means, as I told you, you need to use here the factor function, right? So I'll copy this. I'll show you two ways of creating this. Before this, see, I have kept a factor. Then you can see it is executed. I want to show you the changes. So I am running my line number 208 again. Why I did so? I'll tell you afterwards. You can compare by your own the output. So this is the output coming when I have executed my line number 208 and 209. This is the output generated. Now I have run the line number 212. Then now again I am calling my object gender, and you can see the changes. Done. This way these labels have defined here. That means it is having only two categories, male category and female category, or F and N category. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear to all? Then do I need to wait?
Done, ma'am.
Done. Now we'll see one more way. So I am executing this line number 208 again. Copying this. No, not copying this. I am giving the name. This is just a minute. First way, and then I'll tell you the second way, right? So here I have written gender, and this, as already I have created a gender vector. So instead of that, means I will copy this also. So this will make you more clear what I did. I'm copying this, pasting here. Means I firstly created a vector, and inside the factor function, I'm giving the name of my vector, and again storing it into the same object name, right? And pressing enter. You can see. And then once you are calling this gender, you can see this is coming same, right? Done, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I am creating another factor vector so that this gender will be now coming out of your mind because it is showing similar kind of thing. So I'm creating other vector, or I'm creating my second categorical variable. So I'm writing here, suppose it is marital status. I have given only marital. I am writing vector inside this using the C function. I am passing, suppose married and single. These two things I am giving only. Done? Problem, there is, just a minute. You can see what I did. I have used one more, what I can say, parameter inside the factor function. Firstly, I have passed my vector of the marital status, married single, something like that. After that, I have defined the labels. Means I don't want this R to decide which will be my first label. I want to specify that S will be my first label and M will be my second label. So I have defined that. Instead of this, if you want to write M and S, that will also work. Is it clear? So that way it will come M and S. Fine, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, it is showing some error. I didn't understand where it went wrong.
Okay, possible for you to share?
It's from different device.
Can you read the error?
Error says unexpected symbol.
Can you copy and paste?
1 second, ma'am. Yeah, it's okay, ma'am. Done.
Done?
Done, ma'am.
Fine. I'll just a minute. I want to show you one more thing here. Now you can find what the change I want to show you. I have created a marital categorical variable using the factor function. Inside that I kept a vector. This is the vector. I have not defined my labels here. I want to call my marital variable. You can see it is showing me the labels M and S. Whereas when I am ascertaining, the label should be S and M. So this is the difference. Getting me? You can check the difference in the labels. This is the meaning of labels. Clear?
What happens if it is SM and MS, ma'am? There is no difference,
No,
no?
no difference. Meaning is only if you want to ascertain that the label should be S should be first label, M should be second label. Likewise. So that way you can use this labels parameter. Otherwise, whatever means it will show you in the alphabetical order.
Okay.
But we are changing it. We want it to be S and M. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. So I think, friends, this is what we discussed today. I'm deliberately stopping myself here so that we can go for and we can do some exercises, right? So give me a second. I think I'll be having certain exercises for you. So I think you can check in the chat box. I am writing the problems for you there. I have copied and pasted there. You need to perform these one by one. I'll give you almost 5-10 minutes. You perform, and I am here only. If you're facing any problem, please ask me. Piramal sir is asking me to show the merging of list 4 and 5. Just a minute. This is the merging, sir. I don't know. Are you listening to me or not? You can see this, and the result is this. Fine. Is it okay? If any one of you complete the work, please put your output maybe in the chat, or if you want to complete and tell me, you can unmute yourself and tell me. Rashri ma'am, I think you have raised the hand. This is what I can see. You want to ask me something?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm Dr. Hema. Just now I joined, and yesterday I was not able to get the link for your thing. Ma'am, yesterday the program was there.
Yes.
It was there, right? But I didn't get the link today. Now, just now only I got the link. I doesn't know why. Ma'am, you will be giving the recorded sections of this.
Actually, ma'am, I'm not the organizer. Organizer is the RFI team, and always
Okay.
they are creating the YouTube links. Means you can find these recordings on the YouTube.
In the YouTube.
You need to access the RFI website. From there, you
Okay.
can get the link easily, or maybe in the WhatsApp chat. I think you will be there in a WhatsApp chat.
No, ma'am. Just one person called Rajesh, and he was giving me the instructions that yesterday there was no program, and we'll be sending the link soon.
No, no, this is the day 2. So there
Ah,
was a
that's what.
program.
Okay.
So yesterday we have done only the very basic things, Hema ma'am. You can
Okay,
only
ma'am.
go and check on. I think Sarah shared these links. You can find in the chat
Mm-hmm.
of the meeting. You can check the chat of the meeting. There you can
Mm-hmm.
find the YouTube links are given. You can copy and paste somewhere in your files and all. So that way you
Okay.
by sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So that way
Yes,
using
ma'am. I'm getting it.
you can access
Yeah, I'm
the
getting it.
yes. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Chandrasekhar sir. Any question from your side, Chandrasekhar sir? Okay. Those who are performing, they can put output there in the chat.
Ma'am, to create a vector with the following elements, the third task,
Hmm.
the elements are not continuous, ma'am. 2, 4, 6. Can we use RIP? How do we use RIP? I didn't understand there. Because you were using 2:4, 2, 3, 4 was working there. It is even numbers here, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6.
So you can create a vector 2, 4
Okay.
inside REP. You can create 2, 4, 6 as a vector, put a comma and write times equals 3.
Acha. Okay. I'll try, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone who has performed?
3 are done, ma'am.
3 done. Okay. So means you are getting the results satisfactory. When you are satisfactorily, you are getting the results, right?
Yes, ma'am. I got first 3. Doing the fourth one now.
That's good.
Ma'am, how do we access an element? I forgot actually.
The
Unable to.
indexing by index.
Okay, indexing. Okay, fine.
Yes. Aparna ma'am has written yes, ma'am. Have you performed all? Yes. Saira sir has shared you the boxes, or what I can say, the brackets which you need to use for indexing. That is the square bracket. Okay, that's great. Okay, Aparna ma'am, so it is fine with you. Whatever we understood today, you was able to perform today. Yes. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I am in a meeting. Please ask if you people are facing any problems. Although I have shared only limited set of questions to you, I'm having more. First,
Ma'am, unable to retrieve that, ma'am. Indexing, I forgot actually.
okay, just a minute. I'll see the question. What a question it was. You need to create a list, right? So suppose I'm writing here for you in the chat what we need to store inside the list. 5 elements. Okay, so I'm storing some elements for you. Integer, okay. Then a vector, fine. Fine. Then a list, okay. Fine. Then a logical value. Suppose I created a list. I have sent you the syntax, right?
Yes, ma'am. Even I have done that.
Fine. Then you need to access the second element. You will write L1 brackets 2. In my case, it will return me 10.
No, ma'am. We want the second element in the vector, no, ma'am.
Okay,
So,
vector. Fine. Sorry. L1, and then you will write double brackets. And which element? Vectors. Second element?
third element is vector, ma'am.
No. Which element from the vector?
Second element in the vector.
Second element.
Okay, these brackets, wala, even when you were explaining, I didn't understand how many brackets for which reason.
For accessing means whatever is the outer. So outer is your element, that is vector, right? So for
Okay.
that, for that you need to use the 2 brackets.
Okay.
Fine. And for accessing its element inside its, if you want to access something, so you need to use the single bracket.
Okay. Fine.
Fine. Okay, I think Anoop sir has shared. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. Anoop sir, I think I understood till this. Means at the third position of the names vector, you have stored Mohan. What do you want to do with this second element?
But I have to change this 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, good. Priyamal sir, it's correct. Okay, what about the remaining? Will you please tell me? I think many of you are still in the meeting because generally when I give exercises, people left the meeting. This is what I observed. They are generally leaving the meeting, but you people are there in a meeting, so that means many of you are performing. This is what I am interpreting for with this. I don't know how many of you are listening me or not, but I am taking this inference that you are performing. Okay, so any other questions or you want to ask me in the assignment something? No, if not, I'll give you few more exercises for the practice purpose. You can copy from here, right? I'll give you exercises I'm writing in the chat. So, okay, I think sir is writing done. Okay, sir, thank you. Saira sir. So, what I did, like, just a minute, it's not taking the complete. So you can check. Okay, okay. Okay, Suchitra ma'am is also writing then fine. So I have sent you few in the chat box. I request everyone please copy these exercises somewhere in your laptop and perform at your end before coming tomorrow for the session. So this way you would be able to understand the things which we have discussed today in this session, right? Okay, so I think now I'm asking you for the questions and answers if you are having any. So the platform is open for the same. If not, we will meet tomorrow and discuss the remaining 3 data structures. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Okay. So seems no questions, no voices are coming. So I think may I understand this thing that you people are okay what we discussed today? Yes. I hope you are listening.
Yes, ma'am.
So okay, fine. So I think we can end the meeting for the day. We'll meet tomorrow for the next session. Fine, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Thank you. Good night.
Good
See you all
night.
tomorrow. Good night. Yoga sir, over to you. Yoga sir, we are done. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Meeting tomorrow.